Hello, this is Tanya Martin, and this is a NOTATISTE Ignite session on demonstrating mastery with Machinima. ISTE is wrapping up, and here's something that you can get started with right away. Machinima is creating movies using a game engine. It's the use of real-time 3D graphics rendering engines to create a cinematic production. It is something that was started by video game players, and the word is a mix of machinima and cinema. The basic steps in creating a machinima require that you have a plan. You need a story. The set can be constructed in a sandbox genre game, or it can be something that you select out of a MMO like World of Warcraft or Guild Wars. The actors or the avatars or the players in the game. You can capture audio at the same time as you capture video, or you can do that post-production. And finally, editing. Lots and lots of editing, and finally sharing with the wider world. Machinima can be used to tell or to retell a story. Students can use it to explain, to instruct, to inform, or to entertain. Obviously, they can demonstrate the mastery of a topic through the product. Machinima does require skills. Obviously, it requires computer skills using the software necessary to create the machinima, but it also requires planning, storytelling, directing, problem solving, the camera work of capturing just the right scene, and ultimately editing. There's also room for creativity in machinima. The acting can be, or the performing of the avatars can be more than simply reading a script. It's actual performance. The interpretation of content, which could be something studied in school. It is a cross-curricular product that students would create. Of course, there's creative problem solving and the addition of music or sound effects, which can be creative in and of itself. So there's an opportunity for your creative students to contribute to the machinima product. This illustration from the Institute for the Future has a focus on collaboration, communication, digital literacy, and problem solving, which is constant as students decide on all of the options available and the best way to proceed in the creation of machinima. These skills are skills that students are going to need for the future. Machinima connects to what children like is games. Sandbox genre games like Minecraft require students to build a set, whereas video game like Guild Wars or World of Warcraft has ready-made sets, and it's amazing how creative students can get with using those ready-made sets in video games. The ones that they play and love are going to be the ones that they can be even more creative with. Hardware requirements for machinima: you need a computer system that's going to play the game, that's going to run the editing software and capture software, headphones and a microphone, it does get noisy, and hard drive or storage devices for all that video that some of it is going to not be used immediately, but might be able to be used in a future product from all that editing that they do. Your software requirements: they have video games, MMOs, which may require a subscription or a cost, sandbox genre games like Minecraft, OpenSim, Second Life. You will need video capturing software. The Apple computer comes with video capturing and editing software, as does a Windows machine. So you can get it for free, or you can buy something that's a little more sophisticated for your video capture and video editing. There are also audio editing, but that's optional to have that software. This is kind of what a video capture would look like. This particular one is Camtasia. You capture the screen, you capture the portion of the screen that you want to film or capture with the camera. You press the button, and then you start capturing the movement. And the editing software looks a little bit like this. You can see the tracks of the captured video and audio at the bottom. You can tell there's a lot of video editing that took place here, because much of it will end up on the cutting room floor. Ultimately, students want to disseminate their machinima to their classroom teacher so that she or he can evaluate whether they have mastered the content through their work. They can turn it in with a small device or simply put it on a local network. You can also share to a wider network, to their parents and to the wide world on TeacherTube, Vimeo, Vine, YouTube are some of those products that are available for students to publish their work. There are some standards in creating machinima. These are ones that are selected out of Common Core. I know lots of states have altered their Common Core and made them state specific, but they all do kind of include something like this. Remember that machinima is multidisciplinary, transdisciplinary. They can create machinima in any topic, on any subject, as well as something that is creative. This is what traditional demonstration of mastery looks like. We've all seen it. I often think it's a demonstration of memorization for a short period of time. Now, project-based learning this might be a little far-fetched, that's my kid, but it is a bigger picture. It is a lot of things rolled into the final product, and it is usually long-term. Students go over it for a long period of time, and when they turn something in from a project that they've been working on for some time, you can see that they have actually learned some knowledge and skills in developing that product. So Machinima does require multiple processes online and offline, and it culminates in a product. And that product might be a 2 or 3 minute machinima or cinema on the computer, but that product required all of the skills that we've discussed just now. So how do you get started as a classroom teacher? Well, you got the summer, it's July. So survey your students, survey your children. What kind of immersive environments and games do they like? And play with them, register for those games and start playing. Then select and use screen capture software yourself. Kind of figure out, how do I do this? And play and learn with it over the summer. And when you go back in September, you can apply that learning and start working on using Machinima with your students. There are some competitions and showcases that are available throughout the year. The annual ISTE Edu Machinima Fest took place yesterday. You may have attended, or you may be attending next year. But this Machinima Fest takes student products and teacher products and showcases them each year at the ISTE conference. There's the 48-hour film project, which it's probably for older students. There is a fee. The Machinima Evo contest is more for language learning, for ESOL instruction and language instruction. And then Blizzard runs the BlizzCon movie contest that has a big money prize attached to it. So those of your students who are in World of Warcraft can enter that one. I'm sure there are others, but these are a few that I'm very familiar with. And Machinima resources each fourth Tuesday of the month at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Time. Teachers are meeting on Avicon Grid in OpenSim to discuss and share the Machinima that they have created or their students have created. The Machinima for Mere Mortals WordPress site lists the winners and various things going on in Machinimas, particularly associated with the Machinima Fest. There's a Google community called Edu Machinima. You can ask to join. There's a live binder. Simply look for Machinima and you'll see the live binder that gives you lots of tips on making Machinima. Follow the Twitter at Edu Machinima, and you can follow my YouTube channel at GridJumper. And oops. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and have a safe trip home if you're at ISTE. And if you're not at ISTE, I thank you for joining. Ask your students if they know what Machinima is, and then tell them they can demonstrate what they know and are able to do by making Machinima instead of taking a test.